Alternatif, seçenek.
Alternative. We can choose the alternative idea for our class project.
Sınıf projemiz için alternatif bir fikir seçebiliriz.
She found an alternative route to avoid heavy traffic today.
Bugün yoğun trafikten kaçınmak için alternatif bir yol buldu.
The teacher offered an alternative book for students to read.
Öğretmen öğrencilere okumaları için alternatif bir kitap önerdi.
That whatever mistakes we make down here, the alternative would be 10 times worse.
There is no reasonable alternative, and the force to be used is in proportion to the threat.
Now we have a witness who has spent her career studying the defense's alternative explanation.
Since your behavior is elaborately documented in here, it will come as a shock to no one if I chose an alternative today.
Sure, but it's not really voluntary anymore when the alternative is prison.
With Wesley's coach retiring and my lack of skill set, Chase is pretty much the only alternative.
Career suicide's not so bad when you consider the alternative is suicide by career.
Or to present any viable alternative to their theories of your culpability.
And if you do not open this door, I will have no alternative but to break it down.
You'll need a believable alternative source for all the pieces of information you use.
Kaptan, yüzbaşı.
Captain. The captain welcomed all passengers and explained the safety rules.
Kaptan tüm yolcuları karşıladı ve güvenlik kurallarını açıkladı.
She told the captain about the broken radio after lunch.
Öğle yemeğinden sonra kaptana radyonun kırık olduğunu söyledi.
During the storm, the captain gave clear orders to everyone.
Fırtına sırasında kaptan herkese net talimatlar verdi.
Captain, is it so important whether or not Professor Collins remembers me?
This from the same Captain Benjamin Martin, whose fury was so famous during the Wilderness Campaign.
And when you have finished singing, you, Captain Van Trapp, will be taken to Bremerhaven.
Unfortunately, the captain of the university debate team had a scheduling conflict.
Likewise for Captain Hendricks, Gunnery Sergeant Crisp, who cut their teeth under my command in Desert Storm.
I can take that point and hold it just as long as I like, and you can get any place up that river that suits you, young captain.
Well, I trust that you will always remember this is the day that Captain Jack Sparrow almost escaped.
And that the bravery of Corporal Redmond Barry in rescuing Captain Potstove.
It's time for the Ravagers to rise once again to glory with a new captain.
As most of you know, Christopher Pike, former captain of this ship, and our friend.
Diagram. Şema.
Diagram. Please draw a clear diagram to explain your idea.
Lütfen fikrini açıklamak için açık ve anlaşılır bir diyagram çiz.
The teacher showed a diagram of the life cycle yesterday.
Öğretmen dün yaşam döngüsünün şemasını gösterdi.
Look at the diagram and describe what you see.
Diyagrama bakın ve ne gördüğünüzü anlatın.
Simply by calling up projections from the electronic diagram on any video monitor anywhere in Wildfire.
A rough diagram showing the chain of command of a $3 billion gambling and bookmaking empire that spreads across the country.
Okay, now that we dissected our frogs, let's go back to the diagram and compare it with what we saw.
This map is a diagram of an underground a tunnel system.
This diagram is the only one my professor found that shows a glimpse of the realm where Harrison is.
I'm just sharing with you because we share a privileged overlap, a Venn diagram of reality, right? So
and let's be honest, in the Venn diagram of these two statements, usually standing in the middle, it's a white man with dreadlocks.
Diagram, an office diagram, to show the key employees so I can better serve you.
Can be represented conveniently by a three-dimensional diagram.
You will proceed directly to the point of rendezvous and assume your positions as shown by this diagram.
Ortaya çıkarmak, maruz bırakmak.
Expose. The teacher will expose the mistake to the whole class.
Öğretmen hatayı tüm sınıfın önünde ortaya çıkaracak.
Do not expose the food to direct sunlight for long.
Yiyecekleri uzun süre doğrudan güneş ışığına maruz bırakmayın.
She had to expose the truth about the accident.
Kazada gerçeği ortaya çıkarmak zorunda kaldı.
Man so heinous and without conscience that I have taken time out of my busy schedule to ensnare and expose him.
The thing is that there's been some tension between us at work, you know, like business stuff, and I would hate to expose you to that.
I cannot allow you to expose us to foreign nations who've always wanted to see us fail and suffer.
You find out the reasons, because I'm gonna expose all of it.
To begin with, what if
Assuming that it's true that you are playing this game, what if I were to expose you?
I still don't understand why Vince Collins is willing to be involved in such an expose of himself.
We must follow the examples of the Bible to expose sin and sinners for what they are.
We must expose the corruptors, shine a light on their treachery once and for all.
Quiet and safety of some little delicatessen, you and I can write a biting satire and expose all their foibles.
Let's expose these men for who they really are before they become martyrs for their cause.
Akmak, akış.
Flow. The river will flow gently past the small village.
Nehir küçük köyün yanından usulca akıp geçecek.
Ideas can flow freely during our group study sessions.
Grup çalışma oturumlarımızda fikirler rahatça akabilir.
Keep your attention so the conversation can flow naturally.
Dikkatini ver ki konuşmanın akışı doğal olsun.
Well, I perform a variety of target-oriented tasks and keep close to the deal flow and
I've got a lot of cleaning up to do, but with the positive flow of the core, everything should work out fine.
And when we talk about this merger, we are talking about a synergy between hardware and software, between cash flow and capital needs.
I'm thinking of the rivulet with its cool and silvery flow, of the old grey rock that shadowed it in the peppermint tree.
To a stall or a small paddock inhibits blood flow, and it damages receptors in the hoof capsule.
I kind of just wanted to let it all flow out of me, you know.
Whenever I feel tense or anything, I put him on and just sprawl on the carpet and let him flow all over me.
So suppose, theoretically, that something happened to time, like the flow of time.
Mr. Mayor, we're here tonight because a psychomagnetheric slime flow of immense proportions is building up beneath this city.
Each day, this disease takes its toll on us, and each day, the flow of profits and where they go.
Story time!
Mira sat in the town hall, waiting for the meeting about River Street. The traffic there was terrible, and the noise never seemed to stop. On the stage, the project captain walked to the microphone and smiled at the crowd. He said they had a new plan, an alternative to simply making the road wider. Instead of more cars, they wanted more trees, bike lanes, and small cafes. Mira watched as he showed a big diagram on the screen, with colors for each part of the street. The diagram made it easy to understand where people would walk, drive, and sit. Then a reporter stood up and asked if the plan would expose any problems with old buildings near the river. The captain answered calmly and said that the project might expose some hidden damage, but they would repair it. He explained that they also wanted to clean the water and improve the flow of the river beside the street. Right now the water moved slowly and smelled bad after heavy rain. With new plants and better pipes, the river could flow more freely and look beautiful again. Mira felt hope as she listened, and she imagined people talking quietly in the cafes instead of shouting over cars. When the meeting ended, she signed her name to support the alternative plan for River Street.
Kazanmak, artmak.
Gain. I hope to gain more confidence when I speak.
Konuşurken daha fazla özgüven kazanmayı umuyorum.
She will gain new skills in the language course.
Dil kursunda yeni beceriler kazanacak.
The company wants to gain customers with better service.
Şirket, daha iyi hizmet sunarak daha fazla müşteri kazanmak istiyor.
When we gain access to these plantations, we'll be putting on an act.
Just listen, while I very much would like to help you gain perspective on this, I do need to remind you that today is typically my day off.
Raymond Shaw has overtaken Senator Thomas Jordan to gain the vice presidential nomination.
No moral, no comeuppance, no incredible gain of knowledge other than the belief that one...
I could gain everything by doing nothing.
The purpose of this evaluation is to gain insight into her psychological and emotional well-being.
And we run the risk of losing all the ground we have managed to gain in the last...
We're doing a magazine drive, sort of gain some money for the new cafeteria we're trying to build.
Yeah.
I will gain English favor by condemning it and ordering it opposed from our lands in the south.
You got a point there, but I actually think that we have more to gain than we do to lose.
Örnek, durum.
Instance. This is an instance of good teamwork in our class.
Bu, sınıfımızdaki iyi takım çalışmasının bir örneğidir.
She gave one instance when the plan worked very well.
Planın çok iyi işe yaradığı bir örnek verdi.
Can you show an instance from your daily routine tomorrow?
Yarın günlük rutininizden bir örnek gösterebilir misiniz?
But like with this song, for instance, the Hey Jude one must have some story behind it.
You should know what George knows about me, for instance, if you really want to call me names.
For instance, the presence of noxious, possibly hazardous waste chemicals in your basement.
And when there was a special delivery, they'd pull a phony air raid to get us out of here, like last night, for instance.
For instance, at this interview, I have so arranged that he will always be looking up at you.
For instance, he never mentioned that you were both working for the Anti-Villain League.
I recently learned, for instance, that most Americans watch local news to stay informed.
The associates, me, for instance, bill at a...
Call for Mr. Gopnik. Danny at home.
There's never been any instance at all of computer error occurring in the 9000 series, has there?
Where 'tis fine, it sends some precious instance of itself.
Ahlaki, ders,
moral. The story had a clear moral at the end for children.
Hikayenin sonunda çocuklar için açık bir ahlaki ders vardı.
She told a moral lesson about kindness to her students.
Öğrencilerine nezaketle ilgili ahlaki bir ders verdi.
Parents often explain a moral choice during family talks.
Ebeveynler genellikle aile sohbetlerinde ahlaki bir seçimi anlatırlar.
Look, I may be prepared to accept Jesus as a great moral teacher, but I simply cannot accept his claim to be God.
Look, we have things those computers can never have, like instincts and feelings, moral judgment.
He gave you a vision of moral order in the universe, and there isn't any.
You know, if we had any moral character, we wouldn't be standing here covered with mud drinking when we should be washing.
And the moral of that is, the more there is of mine, the less there is of yours.
We have failed in our moral and legal obligation to provide quality education to every American child.
A masculine love of physical beauty and of moral beauty and of the beauty of the thirst for human knowledge.
And there have been consequences to the moral decay of this country caused by the gays and the acceptance of their lifestyle, and there will be more.
Okay, David, before we go any further, let's get the moral issue out of the way.
Though we know it will have no legal or binding effect, we would hope that it will have a moral effect.
Fizik,
physics. I enjoy learning physics because experiments make ideas clear.
Deneyler fikirleri somutlaştırdığı için fizik öğrenmeyi seviyorum.
My teacher explains physics with simple examples and real objects.
Öğretmenim fiziği basit örneklerle ve gerçek nesnelerle anlatıyor.
We study physics at school to understand nature and technology.
Okulda doğayı ve teknolojiyi anlamak için fizik dersi alırız.
Last year, my physics advisor had a meeting with some researchers in Fort Polk, and he came back and he...
You mind if we talk about this later?
Professor Croninger in the physics department has a government grant to develop military technology, and we're trying to stop the...
So unless you want him to turn you into a pig who just loves physics, then you better help me find that doll before he does.
I've changed the setup to mirror the lab desk at UCF Physics I was working on that fateful day 3 years ago.
And the winner of the Nobel Prize for Physics is Corinne Elizabeth Bailey.
Welcome to the first International Physics Symposium, designed to bring together the very best minds.
Maybe it's just when a mom wants something for her kids so badly she can bend the laws of physics to make it happen.
What we need is a basic physics lesson before we proceed with your Christmas redo.
All this knowledge about everything. Quantum physics, applied mathematics.
Yeah, but doesn't that take like physics or electrical engineering
And maybe you're not the only one on this boat with an Ivy League education.
Rota, güzergah.
Route. Our bus took a different route to the city center.
Otobüsümüz şehir merkezine farklı bir güzergah üzerinden gitti.
She checked the map to find the best route home.
Eve en iyi güzergahı bulmak için haritaya baktı.
They planned a safe route before starting the long walk.
Uzun yürüyüşe başlamadan önce güvenli bir rota planladılar.
We were merely bijoux, trinkets we were, but en route to extinction.
I am an alien spouse of female military personnel en route to the United States under Public Law 271 of the Congress.
The first sighting was made by an Air Mexico 747 en route from Mazatlan to New York.
Well, this was on his sales route, so he was through here all the time, and everyone in town knew him.
We lived about a quarter mile off Route 17, about a half mile from the town of Greenbow, Alabama.
Survey route was to begin at a place called Fazienda Jacobina, which does not appear to be on this map.
Here's a map, and you must follow this route precisely, because otherwise you'll get lost and she'll be disappointed.
Hate to tell you, lily pad, but Marshall has since confessed to me that en route to your honeymoon...
The shortest route, which is between those two mountains and straight along the coast.
Okay, escape route is crucial, just in case somebody is tailing us or even chasing us, as the case may be.
Story time!
Håkan worked late in a small office and wanted to gain more confidence in English. One winter evening, he missed his normal bus and had to find a different route home. The new bus was almost empty, and the city lights looked soft through the cold window. Across the aisle, an old man was reading a book about physics. Håkan was curious, so he quietly asked, "Excuse me, is that book difficult?" The man smiled and said, "Sometimes it is, but let me give you a simple instance." He dropped his pen on the floor and said, "Physics explains why this pen falls, not flies." Håkan laughed and realized that difficult ideas can feel easy with clear examples. They talked the whole way, and the man corrected Håkan's English gently. By the end of the ride, Håkan felt he did not only gain new words, but also a new friend. Before leaving, the man said, "There is a moral in tonight's trip. A wrong bus can still take you to the right lesson." After that night, whenever Håkan missed his usual bus, he did not panic. He searched for the hidden moral on the new route.
Hey there, did you like that one? Then hit the like button and subscribe, okay? See you soon.